So guys, as you may have seen, my videos are not reaching as many people at the moment because, of course, I'm a new channel, new in this space. I've decided to go for a little different approach this time. Instead of people finding me, I'm going to go find people to help. I think I tried to set up a call, but of course, it didn't work out as I thought it would. It's better if I go and find people and help them directly. So today we're going to go through one of the Reddit users' post who I came across earlier in the morning today. I thought it would be best if I can help this person through a video. Anyone can take time out, of course, to support the guy by putting the comment, but maybe a video, a direct video interaction, looking you into the eye would help you much better. So here I am making the video. I'm going to read out what the post is. We're going to try to help this person as much as we can in terms of self-improvement only. Please note, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a life coach or anything like that. I just want people to improve because I have improved myself and I would love to see everyone around me do the same. No matter you're my friend or your person walking on the street, wherever you are, I want you to be on a self-improvement journey. I'm going to try my best to relate it to my experiences as well in this video so that you, my brother, can relate as much as possible, or sister. The post starts, "Hi everyone, I think this might be the right place to ask the following questions. I really need to get in action and stop hiding from myself and everybody else. In many situations, I just act like I think people want me to act. By this, I'm betraying myself and the people interacting with. In many situations, I think more about what other people want than about what I want and how I feel." In the first paragraph itself, it's been mentioned that this person is unable to act how they want to. They're acting in a way that they think will be beneficial for other people. Biggest mistake that has been done here is disregarding yourself. Throughout this post, by the way, I've understood that this person is very self-aware about this situation, but they only need help in improving. So like I said, they are disregarding themselves. There's many excuses. I know where this behavior comes from, but I finally realized that I'm holding myself back by not taking responsibility for my life and my actions right now when I'm stuck in the past. Again, self-awareness. They know they're making excuses. They know where the behavior is coming from. And they're finally realized they want to take responsibility and accountability for their life. You have taken the step to actually understand what needs to be done, but you don't know how to implement it, which is fair enough. We all at the start of our journeys are lost. We just have that motivation that we need to improve. But motivation doesn't last as long as discipline does. I realize that I'm the only one who can help me. There's a lot of things I've never learned up to now, and up to this point, I've never had the courage to admit that. Even when I was asking people for help, I was never really honest. I could need some input about the following questions. He mentioned, or she mentioned, that I was never really honest when asking people for help. So this person has used Reddit to come out honest, and of course, as anonymous, we don't know who you are. The first question: how do you build a good, healthy self-care routine? Before I get into that, I just want to say I relate to you completely, or I used to relate to you completely. From completely disregarding myself, from knowing where everything is stemming from, not taking the correct action, not understanding how to move on from my past, not being honest to people when I need help, and completely acting the way that people want me to act in their benefit, not mine. Not setting enough boundaries, just doing what they want me to do. Being a people pleaser is the term you're looking for. I was there as well, and I've come out of it pretty well. But your first question is, how do you build a good, healthy self-care routine? To build a self-care routine, what I would suggest the best thing to do is keep a timetable. A timetable, a schedule of things. When you bring it down to minute understanding of the question, the word you should be focusing on is self-care. Anything for yourself. Remember that. The first thing you should do honestly in a self-care routine is start waking up on time. Don't wake up early, don't wake up late, but keep a routine of waking up on time, a certain time of the day. Start waking up on a certain time of the day and sleeping on a certain time of the day. Try to get good enough sleep. That's your first self-care you can do. Sleep is the best thing you can do is because it helps you recover mentally and physically, both. And there's plenty of research out there that you can find. That's the first thing you should do. A routine starts with the start of the day, and that should be you waking up on time. Personally, I suggest dedicating yourself the first day or the first few hours of yourself to yourself in self-care, and the second half of your day to service. This has also been quoted by the world famous influencer Jay Shetty, but this is something that I've implemented myself and I think you should too. Once you have a routine of waking up on time and sleeping on time, you have covered your recovery part. After you have done your recovery part, you should be able to focus on 3 things that I feel are essential to having a self-care routine. You need to journal. You can do gratitude journaling, you can do routine journaling, you can do meditation journaling, anything that you feel like. But journaling will help you understand the root causes or the way you have acted in certain situations. It's like a diary also, you can make it. It's up to you how you want to. Start journaling. Then the second thing you should do is start reading. I always tell people there are so many books around that you can find literally problems that have been solved. The problem you're facing has already been solved by someone out there. Read more. Dedicate yourself at least to minimum of 10 to 30 minutes of reading every day. Read self-help books, self-improvement books. Try to understand that you increasing your knowledge here is going to be the best benefit for yourself. Or even if it's not that, maybe sales or something that you really want to get into. Read about maybe your hobby. Right? And the third thing you should do is exercise. That's the self-care. Very important. A physical aspect that you have to cover is exercise. Go for a run, go to the gym, whatever you feel is comfortable for you. Go ahead and do it. These are 3 keys. And the 4th bonus would be maybe do something for your hobby or that you like doing a little bit, something that you have an interest in. It could be anything. Some people have a passion of writing poems. Go and write a poem. It's up to you how you want to find your interest and do it. But always dedicate a small hobby or interest to yourself because that is self-care. Your next question was, how do you run your household? I struggle with regularly cleaning my house, doing the dishes, etc. Your second problem or your second question is going to be solved with a routine. So your self-care routine, this should be part of it. This is part of self-care. A healthy environment, a healthy and a clean environment is going to be beneficial to you. When you have things organized around you, the mind is going to be organized as well. You just need to write down simply that, okay, at this time I'll be doing this or this time I'll be doing this. It's called time boxing. You can read more about it. It's called time boxing. So you box the time, a current amount of time that you have to that particular thing. So I'm going to wash dishes between this time, I'm going to clean my house between this time, and make it exciting for yourself. You don't want to use a boring dish soap. Find a fancy one and use it, man. Just find something that will make you attract to that. So if you want to clean your dishes, find a sponge that looks fancy. Might as well, bro. Who cares? You're doing it for yourself at the end of the day, right? How do you let go of bad feelings from the past while learning from them? Now, we all have bad feelings, but what is important is that you need to learn the lessons from it. The past teaches everyone a lot. Every time we go through something, there's a lesson into it. That's what you need to be looking into. You need to be looking into the lesson. Try to understand what you have learned from it. There's no use of keeping a bad blood with anybody. There's no use of hating them. What you need to do is try to understand the lesson, what that person taught you, what that situation taught you. That's how you will start letting go of it. You will start accepting the lesson that you have learned, and you will start applying that lesson into your life. If you have gone through a breakup, if your girlfriend has left you or your boyfriend has left you, I repeat this multiple times in my previous videos. If someone has left you, understand the lesson. When I was left behind in my personal life, from my friends, from my girlfriend at that time, I simply started focusing on myself. It was a lesson for me that I wasn't taking care of myself. It was a lesson that I never had the self-esteem, the self-confidence of taking care of myself. I was just relying on other people for my happiness and for my sadness. So try to understand what the lesson is. There is not supposed to be any bad feeling. You need to understand from your past. You need to, if you're not able to understand, write down the events that piss you off or the bad feelings. Write them down. Once you write them down, always when you have a cluttered mind, always write things down. Whenever you write them down, when they're on a piece of paper, it's much easier to comprehend and to diverse them. It's not, if it's all in your head, it's going to be very difficult for you to make the space to understand it. How do you motivate yourself to get active? The question is wrong. Motivation, like I said, only lasts for a bit. Okay? Discipline is what you're looking for. You need to be disciplined to get yourself active. Discipline means doing something that you don't like doing. Being active is something that you do are thinking about being motivated by it. If you really want to make this a discipline of getting active, I would suggest to go on Google and search what are different activities or exercises you can do. There are so many. There's Pilates, there is Zumba, there is just doing CrossFit, there is heavy weightlifting, there's just doing cardio. People are running ultra marathons, iron marathons, like anything that you want to get into, you can. Find an interesting way of getting into being active. That's the best way I can suggest. Find a group of people. You can literally go on, this was like long back, and you could go on Facebook and find groups and you can find events. Or even on LinkedIn, you can find events where people are doing a group workout, a group exercise. Or there is like a day out where you are out in the sun working out, doing yoga with people. Find those activities, because if you feel you are someone who can't do it alone, which is understandable, a lot of people can't. Maybe they need a motivation at the beginning for someone to be there with them to help them. Just fair enough. Go and find the group of people, and that's how you can get active. Motivation, like I said, only will last a bit, but you need to become disciplined towards it. Make it an interest for yourself. Find something that you like doing in terms of which exercise you want to do or what kind of exercise you want to do. And the next question was, how do you cope with loneliness, anxiety, and rejection? This question, to be honest, to answer, it's going to take a while, right? Because loneliness, anxiety, and rejection is something I also dealt with, right? You're dealing with loneliness maybe because you have the feeling that you have to maybe rely on someone, or maybe you have to depend on someone, or maybe your emotions are depending on somebody. You need someone to make you happy. You need someone to make you sad. Loneliness is there because you have not taken care, or you have not dedicated enough for yourself. You have not had that purpose of the passion to literally be there for yourself. That's why you're feeling lonely. You know, it's not a bad, I'm not saying it in a way, like a bad way or anything. I'm not trying to shit on you. Like, I would never do that. What I'm trying to say is that you're feeling lonely because you are not enjoying your company. There you go. That's the best way to put it. And you're not enjoying your company simply because you know how I've broken things down to your each question. That should be answering exercise, journaling, reading, taking care of yourself. That's why, because you're not enjoying your company. That's why you're feeling lonely. Anxiety and rejection. Anxiety somewhat comes under psychology. I can't really say much because I'm not in the medical field as of such. But if you want to reduce your anxiety in terms of, if it's maybe going and talking to a girl, you want to reduce your anxiety? Very simple, go and talk to her. If you have a problem with approaching girls, right, go and try to talk to how many girls you can, right? I deal with it myself till date. Like, I can talk to girls, but then there are some girls who I think, oh, they're like, you know, and I don't know how to approach them. So I know what you're saying. If it's anxiety, depending on the situation, go face them head on. That's how you can get over it. And rejection. Rejection, bro, like, everyone goes through it, man. The best people in the world goes through rejection. Alright? I've been rejected multiple times. Rejected by women, rejected by friends, rejected in job applications. It just have to accept it and understand the rejection does not mean that you are being rejected because of who you are. That's the problem. If you have a victim mentality that you're being rejected for yourself, then that's going to be an issue. Rejection is because not completely of yourself. Remember that. To be able to cope with loneliness, anxiety, and rejection altogether is when you will have your self-esteem, your self-confidence, all these things that you do for yourself, your self-care routine is all going to fix that. When you start facing your fear head on, you're going to get, at least minimize your anxiety. When you start taking care of yourself, you won't have that loneliness. And your rejections, you'll be able to accept them. It's called the art of acceptance. You just need to accept it and move on from it. Go try somewhere else. If 40 applications have rejected you, apply for one more. At least one person will. Rejection is normal. We all go through it on a day-to-day basis. And trust me, the best people go through it as well. So you, my friend, are not special in any case. So do not have the victim mentality in this case, please. How do you set borders and defend them when threatened? So once you start taking care of yourself, deeming yourself as the number one priority, when you start making yourself the best version of yourself, when you start doing things when you don't want to do them, when you embrace positive discomfort, is when you're going to set borders and you're going to defend them while being threatened. How? Because you will have enough self-respect for yourself. Literally. You will learn the importance of yourself. When you love yourself, when you take care of yourself, you will know what you're worth. You will know what you value. And once you realize your value, you're going to understand your worth. You're going to be able to set boundaries and you're going to defend them. Trust me, right now, you're not being able to do that because you're not valuing yourself enough. Okay, even I used to not value myself enough. It's funny. I used to think of myself as just nothing. Like, I thought I'm nothing. I had a very bad confidence. I never was able to set boundaries. I used to listen to people and take their advice, even though I thought it was a bad advice. I'm going to do what people told me to do. I would never be able to defend. I would never be able to stand up for myself. Why? Because I didn't value myself. That's how you have to do it. Even when being threatened, stand up for yourself. Set boundaries. Say no to people. You have to. Stop keeping others first. Make yourself the first priority. You are first for yourself. No one is. Tomorrow, if anything happens to you, trust me, other than your family or maybe one or two friends, even maybe family, you don't know who's going to be there. So start taking care of yourself and keep yourself as the number one priority. Whenever you have to set a boundary, think of it like that. And how do you turn regrets into action? You can simply turn regrets of yours into action by taking action. Like that question that you've asked there, you know what you have to do. Because what that sounded me to is like someone who is not taking care of the eating habits is asking me how to lose weight. You very well know how to lose weight. People know that. You're not supposed to eat junk food. Take care of what you're eating. Eat a certain amount of calories. Literally, I'm telling you, across the street, anyone knows that. People know when they're putting something in their body, they know it's unhealthy, but they still willingly doing it. So how to turn your regrets into action? Understand what your regrets are. Research how other people have taken action on those regrets. The most you can do is probably learn from other people around you. How do you say no and thank? Okay, so here you said, how do you say no to people? So this goes back to you setting boundaries and defending them. You saying no will come when you start valuing yourself, when you start taking care of yourself. Now that you are on a self-improvement journey, I hope you'll probably be able to also cover this aspect. Like, I'll give you an example. When I used to, this was long back, like if my friends made a plan in the group, I could not say no to it. Like, I was just complying, whatever it was, yeah, let's go out, let's do this. Even if I didn't like doing the thing, I had to do it because I didn't have enough to say no. But now when someone says, like, bro, you want to do this, or if my friends are saying, let's go for this, I say, no, I don't want to go. If they ask why, I don't feel like it. Why do you have to justify it to people when you're saying no to them? The problem is you are unable to say no because you don't want to hurt the person. It's why? Because you are giving them priority or not yourself. So start prioritizing yourself first. But that's it. This is how overall you're going to stop making excuses and start taking responsibility and start taking accountability for yourself. It all starts from you. When you start taking care of yourself and when you actually genuinely want to take control of your life, most of your questions will be automatically answered. That's how it happens. Literally, once you do it, you will see it. I can't just say enough. It's very difficult for me to tell you that. I don't know how to explain, but I just want you to take the action, basically. I want you to genuinely try. You'll be able to, literally, these questions are going to disappear. I know these will. When I started my self-improvement journey, I started with going to the gym. Then I started journaling. Then I started reading. Then I started having a routine. I started prioritizing my friendships. I started doing so many things overall, right? You will also start doing that automatically. It's because you have neglected yourself for so long, right? That's because, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, because you yourself have said, I want to stop making excuses as I want to start taking responsibility. So you have basically neglected yourself all this while. When you start prioritizing yourself, and you probably know this, when you start doing it is when you're going to see the benefits free. And how do you motivate? How do you do this? You do this to make yourself the best version of yourself. Always think about this, and you probably must have heard this as well. Imagine the day you die, and this is the judgment day, right? And God tells you, this is what you could have become. This is the best version of yourself you could have become. And you're there like, oh my God, I wish I tried. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the person who became the best version of themselves, who embraced the positive discomfort of taking control of their life. That's the person you have to become. How do you do all this? Literally by taking action. You have to do it, no matter what. But yeah, I hope this video helps you and anyone who's watching this. And like I say, always embrace positive discomfort.